Hello everyone, how are we all doing? I'm Mark Suxford and welcome to my podcast, People Behind Brands. Brought to you by Making Websites Better. In each episode, I'm joined by an inspirational guest to hear more about their life lessons and how it's shaped them into who they are today. To never miss an episode, subscribe to exclusive content now and follow us on our social media platforms. People Behind Brands, life lessons from the world of business. Well, what a treat I've got for you today. I'm pleased to welcome a famous face to the podcast with none other than Bhasker Patel, fresh from his 12-year stretch on Emmerdale. Bhasker opens up about his initial shock at being told his character, Rishi Sharma, would be killed off from the soap in a surprise twist. We also discuss Bhasker's fantastic acting career to date, including Only Fools and Horses and many other TV, film and theatre roles he has had over the years. Bhasker also reflects on his culture and early childhood, having come over to the UK from Uganda as a child, and his experiences with racism over the years. A humble and warm individual who is ready to showcase his life lessons in an exclusive interview with People Behind Brands podcast. Bhasker, welcome to People Behind Brands podcast. It's an absolute honour to have you with us on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Well, thanks for inviting me anyway.
No problem. So you may recognise our latest guest from the world of television, best known for his role in the ITV soap Emmerdale. I recently met Bhasker at a networking event run by a mutual connection, Sanjeev Bhavnani. Sponsors of this podcast, Making Websites Better, were partners of the event where we had the opportunity of promoting our website and digital marketing services in front of many business individuals. It was there I also had the opportunity to speak about the founding elements of People Behind Brands podcast and our amazing guests so far. So it was only right that I asked Bhasker to come on today to talk about his life lessons from a fantastic career in television, film and theatre production. So Bhasker, we should probably actually start where many of our listeners know you from most, which is of course Emmerdale. So recently your character Rishi Sharma was killed off in a shock twist. So how did it feel to come out of something you've known since your first episode, which I believe was in 2011?
Yeah, in a way, I think I was a little bit shocked. But the thing is that it's a continuing drama, and anything can happen. And that was always at the back of my mind. And 12 years is a long time. And I've been very lucky that during my 12 years at ITV, they let me do a lot of other work outside Emmerdale. So that allowed me to have my a connection with the outside world away from the soap world, because a lot of the soaps do not allow actors to work away from their own job, because my character, ITV, it owned my character. And so you have to be loyal to your to your audience as well, and to ITV as well. But they let me do a lot of work outside the soap. So I was very glad that I had that connection going. Because sometimes you're locked in one drama, and by the time you come out, you don't know a lot of people as well, and also people just regard you as just that actor from that particular drama. In our case, in Emmerdale. So I was lucky. Yeah, I mean, I did 2 plays at Donmar Warehouse and in London, in central London, the West End. I did a film with Oliver Stone. So and also a lot of other work as well. So knowing that he got killed, that came as a surprise to the audience, to the fan base, people who watch Emmerdale since 1972 from day one. They all got to like me. And then to find out that they were all very, very sad to let my character, go, and they killed him off. It's good to know that you did something right there to sort of leave a kind of a mark there. That came as a big surprise for me. that
Mm.
when I left, they were all shocked, surprised, and they wanted him to come back. Like, was it in Dallas that Patrick came out of a shower?
Yeah.
Uh, so they all said, "Please bring him back," and people started giving ideas that, "Oh, we can bring him back this way, that way." So yeah, that became a very a good what a talking point on social network, on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook. So that's good to have as an actor,
Mm.
basically.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you've touched upon the fact that your, I guess, initial reaction was surprise when obviously they announced that your character was going to sort of be killed off. But obviously it's an environment you've been around in for 12 years, obviously cast and crew and all that sort of stuff. So I imagine it's quite a big wrench for you to kind of obviously leave the show and leaving that kind of behind.
Yes, I mean the producer did say, "Look, we want to kill him off, but we want a big story, and no one should know." So, and actually, we kept it that way. I think from my side, from ITV as well, and that's what they wanted. And I think I always regard myself as a jobbing actor, because you never know when that job ends, basically. So when it started 12 years ago, it was great, year after year, and what a brilliant training to have every day. In a different scene with a different director. They have 3 units going. It's a show that they have to film 7 half-hour worth of material every week. It's on Monday to Friday. I think Tuesday 1 hour and Thursday 1 hour. And to be in that environment for any actor, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's not just Emmerdale, as you mentioned, that you've been on our screens with. Obviously, during my sort of research looking into this, you've appeared on TV shows, films, and theatre productions. So, that's right back from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right through to some of Britain's most loved TV shows, such as Only Fools and Horses, Casualty, Birds of a Feather, Skins, and many, many more. So, you really have had quite the career. But if you could pick out a few highlights of some of the roles you've enjoyed most over your career, what would they be and why?
I think on TV you just mentioned Only Fools and Horses. In fact, this weekend I'm attending a signing event in London. Now I only played one character in one episode, Dr. Singh,
Mm.
in Modern Men. Yeah. Um, and actually, how many series later, so many other actors who walked in and did a cameo, and mine was one character in one episode, and people still remember him.
Mm.
Things like Turbinator, because he
Yeah.
was the Del Boy called him Turbinator, and then he was said, "I'll be back, hasta la vista," that kind of those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, to have that even now, it's great. People remember you from that. I worked on Thunderbirds, which was a they wanted to make more of Thunderbirds, but I was part of that. We shot it at Pinewood Studios about 22 years ago, and to work with then Ben Kingsley. Well, Sir Ben Kingsley. Then I did a film in Morocco with Robin Williams, Being Human, directed by but for a second I've just forgotten the name of the director. But yeah, to work on those sort of big movies, it's great. I did a film called Business Affairs with Christopher Walken. So yeah, as I regard myself as a jobbing actor. You never know who you are going to be acting with or working with. I've done 10 plays at the National Theatre, which is fantastic. And I regard myself as a character actor. I mean, what I did a play with with Trevor Nunn. I've done 2 plays with him. He's one of our highly regarded theatre director. So, and David Suchet was in one of them, Timon of Athens. That's our Poirot. And he always said to me when we'd walk from a tube to the rehearsal place. And I remember one day he said, "Always be a character actor." He said, "If you're a character actor, no one can. You'll always get jobs, basically."
Mm.
But if you're known for just one thing, then that's bad, he said. I mean, those kind of advice you take from um, uh, well-known actors. They
Yeah.
know what they're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm sort of glad you touched upon Only Fools and Horses because, as you know, when we met at the event, I'm a huge fan, having watched all the episodes countless of times. But yeah, you appeared on Modern Man, the episode as Dr. Singh. I remember
Yep.
another quote that you mentioned. I think it was something like, my, Mr. Trotter, you're a big man."
Yes, that's
With
right.
the in the surgery, I remember that scene.
That's right.
So yeah, obviously, despite only appearing on one episode, that character became memorable as well. So yeah, I mean, just talk to us a little bit more about your experiences on Only Fools and Horses and how you came about to get that role.
Normally, what happens is that with these jobs, you have to have an agent. Basically, without an agent, you don't get to. A lot of big casting directors, known casting directors, always cast actors via an agent, a good theatrical agent. So yeah, Only Fools and Horses, I got it through an agent. I went to see them at BBC at White City and did the audition and came away, and they said, yeah, you've got the part, basically. But on the back of that, I did another with the same team from Only Fools and Horses. I did High Hopes, which was again a kind of a sitcom set in, it was in Wales, basically. It wasn't in Welsh, but in Wales. We shot it in Cardiff. And one of our producer was directing that. And also after, I think, Only Fools and Horses, I did Rides. I think it was from the same stables. I think they did another sitcom called Rides, or forgotten the name of it. And yeah, so sometimes you work with people and they like you. They always sort of bear you in mind for their next project.
Yeah. So I mean, over the years and looking back over that career that you mentioned, so it seems that you've always been on our screens, whether it be on TV, theatre productions. But what actually made you want to become a performer or an actor in the first place?
I came here in '72 from India, and so when I came here, I needed to sort of learn English, to be honest with you, because in India I went to a Gujarati medium school. I didn't go to an English medium school, so I started all over again at the age of 17. And then I thought, God, I want to be a pilot. So I just thought, well, hang on a minute. You need confidence. You need to know the language and then speak confidently. And then nearby, in Crouch End, there was a school. There were evening classes. I think adult education, I think they were called. And there was a school that was doing speech, drama, and movement. So I joined, and I started liking it. And I thought, yeah, it's a challenge. One thing led to another. I sort of kept at it. Those were the evening classes. And then daytime, I'd be learning English during my O levels and A levels. And then when the crunch came, I sort of gave up then by studying for my A levels. I go and study aeronautics at Bath, Salford, and City. Those were the three unis that accepted me.
Mm.
But yeah, during my second year, during my A levels, in my second year, my mind got diverted, and I sort of then started looking for a drama school. And so I then, yes, I worked for a year to pay for my fees to go to the drama school. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, when you started out, taking us back to your early part of the career, did you ever have that did you always have that belief when auditioning for roles, or have you ever experienced times of uncertainty when having that kind of next job? Because I assume that all being part of an actor, you go for these certain roles, but sometimes you get turned down, or you're not the right fit, or whatever it might be. So how have you kind of dealt with that kind of rejection?
Um, Look, you go up for parts. You have no idea. You prep yourself. You do your best. If you don't get it, of course, it comes as a shock, especially at the beginning, because you think, I'm not hitting the right notes. I think that's how people talk. And but I always thought that. making an impression on somebody at a meeting was very important. So they always remembered you, and they always called you back if there was another part going in in future. So of course it came as a shock, but then you get used to it, and then you hear from your peers that they say, look, keep going. And I think keep going is the key, and not giving up. And also and not sort of setting your goals quite high. You always, in the beginning, I played a lot of cameo parts, and but I always watched people from the wings. My first play at the National was a map of the world, written by David Hare and directed by David Hare. It had Diana Quick in it, Bill Nye in it. And when you work with these people, I was always in attendance during rehearsals, although I was not needed, because I was just watching people, also watching people from the wings, rather than sitting in the dressing room until your scene comes. I always watched people from the wings and watched them, how they were dealing with acting on stage, dealing with their characters, and not sort of thinking, oh, that's the way I want to do it, but just watching it basically. And you never know, like a sponge, you soaking up so much just by being there, being in the room.
We've heard about your career today, obviously early career as well, but perhaps you could take us back to your early life, because I believe you were born in Kampala in Uganda
That's
and
right.
came over to the UK as a child. So how much of that time do you remember, and obviously early life with your family?
Uganda, I was, well, my father had a provision store in a place called Lugazi, which was in between Kampala and Jinja. These are the big cities. I was born in Kampala. When I was 5, my father sent us to India. The reason being, Uganda became independent. British left, and the things were sort of, even then, in 1961, we left for India. My father said, if something happens, he can just look after himself and then leave the country, and he didn't have to worry about my mom and my 4 sisters. So then we went to live in India, and my father stayed back in Uganda. So we went back to our ancestral place in Gujarat. That's where I'm a Gujarati, so that's where we went back to, our ancestral place. And it's a small town. It's a thriving town. And I studied there until I was 17. And my father wanted to invite me to Britain to be educated, to get some education. So he came here first, and then he invited the whole family. And then we stayed here. We all had British passports, and yeah, we sort of came here in '72 and started life all over again.
Mm. Yeah, so I mean, coming over from a different country, I assume, you obviously had to comprehend the language barrier, while also having, maybe experiencing racism during that time and that sort of generation. So, what are your own experiences of racism during your personal or even professional career?
Um, Personally, I think yes, of course, the racism was there, and I think that happens to anybody. I think having another community coming into your area or in your country, you feel, oh, do we know these people, etc. So yeah, the racism was there. You had to be very careful when you travel, how you traveled, and avoid any situation that would bring problems or fights or whatever. And yeah, a couple of times it did happen, and you then made sure that you avoided those situations. In the industry, in the beginning, there weren't that many parts for a lot of Asian actors, the Indian actors, but it got better.
So, how does that make you feel though? Like any experiences that you've ever faced? Because really, it's not anything to do with you, really, is it? It's just because of your skin color or your culture as it is. So, how do you feel when someone has actually gone further and obviously discriminated you or whatever it might be? Because that's obviously not a nice feeling to have. So, how does that actually make you feel?
Yeah, of course, it's very hurtful. And you always feel that, hang on, I've put all my eggs in this basket. I am contributing. I am no different. And I think the thing about Indians is that they always blend in. They don't go and go, this is me, I need preferences, I need, this for me or whatever. They've always, we believe in kind of blending in. So when that happens, it really it hurts the community. But over the years, I think education, people educate themselves, the opposite as well, and the people who were long ago didn't know this new community coming over here. They have an understanding. It's like where I met you for the networking. I mean, I remember towards the end, I think we were 11 or 12 people left, and we were in a circle, and we just started. I think by that time you had left, I think. And someone said, let's find out from each other where we're from. And we found out that in that circle of 12 or 11 people, we were all from different countries, but all thriving in Britain, in England or Scotland or wherever. So that over the years makes you realize that actually London is a great place and to do business, and of course now and again we came across a lot of racism, but we didn't give up.
Clear that continuing momentum and working as an actor involves a lot of hours and drive.
Yeah.
So how much of an impact does that have on your personal life and loved ones, where you might be away for long periods of time or even long days on set?
The thing is that you have to have a good relationship, friendship. The family, your family members understand, and they're behind you all the time. I never had any pressure from my family to sort of give up or something, because they knew that I always worked hard. I didn't, as an actor, you can't just wait for the phone to ring. You can't just rely on your agent to get you jobs. You have to put in your own hours as well. When you're not working, you are actually working. I'm a BAFTA member, and I went to see Michael J. Fox's film called Still, about his own because his Parkinson's disease, and even he says that's in America. He said to his dad, I really want to go and give a shot, because I think he did a lot of drama productions during his school days or whatever. And even now, he said the first 3 years, he said they were so difficult, but he never gave up, and I never gave up. But then you hear that from everyone, that giving up, it's not what you be thinking about. So yeah, last night you meet other people, like how I met you at the networking meeting last night. You meet other people, other editors, who are also part of BAFTA members, and they get to know you, and then you never know. They might be doing something and remember you. So yeah, I think families, family members, your partners, they really play a big part. Without their support, you can't survive. But then again, in between acting, I did a lot of other work as well. I put the bread on the table. I didn't sit home when I wasn't getting a lot of acting work, and I was getting acting work. But in between, what do? You can't sign on because that doesn't put the bread on the table. So I did all kinds of work. I remember I was during Christmas time, I was sorting mail at Royal Mail in Mount Pleasant in London, and then I did that later on at Gatwick Airport. They have a huge Royal Mail. I did that as well. I did night shifts. I did a lot of market research kind of a work as well.
Just before we end today's episode, I wanted to do a little quick fire round of questions and
Yep.
answers, talking about some of your most favourite things, just to get to know you a little bit more. So we'll start off with, what's your favourite food?
I would say really Indian food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indian food. Yeah.
Favourite music in terms of band or artist?
I would go with a semi-classical Indian music, because that for me, that's very soothing as well. And I also started playing harmonium as well, because as an actor, that also helps you as well. And of course, over the years, I sort of slightly gave up, but I would say Indian classical music.
Mm-hmm. Favorite TV program or film, and it's not one that you've appeared in.
Wow. I would go with Faulty Towers and all the kind of all the Ronnies.
Yeah.
The for me, the comedy was the best thing. I mean, Norman Wisdom films, Laurel and Hardy, Charlie Chaplin, and all those films, short films or feature films. Yeah, I'd go with that. But yeah, I think I would say Faulty Towers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, I think that's one thing that Britain has got done quite well, is the British sitcoms that we've had over the years have been fantastic. But favorite place in the world?
Favorite place in the world? Wow, that's a tough one, because I'd like to travel, but what happens when I travel? I'm there for a couple of days and I come away. And favorite place. I would still like to say India.
Mm-hmm. Favorite memory of your life so far?
My childhood in Lugazi in Uganda. We had a guy who used to help my mom in the house, and he would take me to a railway yard where all the sugar came, because where we were, it had a sugar factory. It was the bread basket for Uganda, the sugar. And I do remember vaguely the picture I have, and I hope one day I go back and sort of revisit that. I'm sure it's all changed or what not, but I was less than 5 and spending time there. So I suppose I would like to. I've never done that. I wanted to do it a couple of times, but never happened, because as an actor, you never know how busy you're going to be. So sometimes you have a week free and something turns up, and you, in a way, to be honest with you, I'm a workaholic, and you can't say no. So a place, I would say I want to visit that place. Yeah, there are so many places that I want to visit, but that place I think I want to visit as well.
Yeah. So final question, a quick fire round would be, if you had to invite 3 people from the world of showbiz to your house for a dinner party, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
From the showbiz.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, he's dead now, but Robin Williams would have been one person. I really had a great time acting with him in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
It was a month and a half, and I remember the name of the director, Bill Forsyth, a Scottish director. So yeah, so Robin Williams. Another person would be Oliver Stone. I really had a great time working with him on Snowden. Got to really know him. Away from being just a director, he was just such a joy to talk to. The third person, I would say, I would love to have, and you said from the showbiz, didn't you?
Yeah.
From showbiz, yeah, showbiz. There's so many to so many that I would love to have them. No, the third one. I'll just for a second. I'd go. No, I'm lost at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, well, you can have a dinner party of 3 people, including yourself. Okay, that's fair enough. Bhasker, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as I said earlier, to discuss your incredible career and personal life. So perhaps you'd like to tell our listeners where they can find you and what you're working on in terms of upcoming projects post Emmerdale.
Post Emmerdale, I've been straight away. As soon as I finished, I started doing some work at the National Theatre. Then a few days later, at Hampstead Theatre again, they said, "Oh, we're working on new plays." So that finished, and then I was doing a play at SOAS, which was about an eco play about Pakistan, about the agriculture, and the play was written in Pakistan about the corruption and everything, and how people could be helped. I did that, and then at the Bush Theatre, which is again a kind of a brilliant theatre. So I did all that, and then I landed a role in a play which I'll be doing in October, November at Park Theatre. It's a new play called Passing. Again, it's a play about an Indian guy. He's married an English lady. He has 2 children, but the daughter, I mean, both the children, son and a daughter, they both have their mixed sort of their dual heritage. The girl wants to know more about her Hindu culture, the Indian culture, because the dad has sort of kind of forgotten all that. So it's a new play with five people. So I'm looking forward to doing that, rehearsing in October. In the meantime, I've just done a short film the other day with somebody in London. And then there are a few other projects that short films that I'm working on. At the same time, I'm also trying to help a lot of writers and take their scripts to film companies. And that's why I was there at the networking session. And Sanjeev Bhavnani, he also invites me to all these events. So yeah, I've been, to be honest with you, I'm forever working hard. So I never sort of give up. Like last night I saw a film, BAFTA film. Tonight I'm seeing another documentary as well. Because it's you have to constantly update yourself all the time. Because you never know, someone can in a conversation drop in a word or something, and you don't know, and that makes you a little bit not part of the business.
Yeah, no, as I say, I think it's been great to listen to you today. Very humbling sort of experience that I've had today. So yeah, thanks very much for your time again, and yeah, pleasure to meet you. Obviously last time, but thank you again for coming on the episode today. And yeah, listeners, hope you can see Bhasker very soon on your screens or in theatre productions coming soon. So again, thank you, Bhasker.
Thank you.
So that's it for this episode of People Behind Brands. If you like what you heard today, do yourself a favour, subscribe to our exclusive content now, and follow us on our social media when you search People Behind Brands podcast or at podcast PBB. Join us next time for a brand new guest as we explore more life lessons from the world of business. We'll see you soon. Ta-da!